Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Scents of South Jersey with me, Kellen. And of course, today we're going to do another fragrance review. I'm going to do a review of a fragrance today that I've had for about a little over a year now. I'm sure many of you have either owned it, smelled it, or are aware of it. It's very popular, and it's a very popular, and in fact, almost rated the best cologne of Creeds Aventus. So this particular fragrance is classified as a woody, spicy fragrance. It came out in 2015, and it is by the House of Armaf, and it is, of course, Club de Nuit Intense Man. So I'm going to, of course, talk about the presentation. We'll talk about the notes, the performance, my thoughts overall on the smell, when to wear it, how to wear it, and then give it the overall rating. But one thing I do want to point out is that I actually have two bottles of it. And one of them is the original formulation, and one of them is a reformulation. And I got it completely by accident. So initially I had ordered the reformulation, and then I found a set online that had a shampoo, had a body spray, had a, what else did it have? It had another bottle of the cologne, and I really liked the smell, so I'm like, why not have a backup? I didn't even know that it was reformulated, and then I got it, and I noticed some differences, and then I did some research online, and I found out that there is a little bit of difference. Unfortunately, I don't have the box for the reformulation because before I had my channel and started doing the reviews and was really this into fragrances, I kind of discarded the box. If I can remember it was black. It looked a lot like the bottle. It had a mock circle here with one of the rhinestones in it, actually on the box too. And it said Club de Nuit Intense Man at the bottom and Armaf on the top, I think. So correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. So first let's take a look at the bottle presentation. I'll talk to you about the differences between the two and how you can tell which one you're buying, if you're getting the original formulation or if you're getting the reform. So they both look identical from here. The original formulation has a slightly longer chain than this one does, but it still has the rhinestone and the Armaf right there in that center. So Club de Nuit on the bottom, Club de Nuit on the bottom there, and both of them have a sticker with the batch information and brand information there. So on the top, they got these heavy-duty caps, right? So the caps have rhinestones on them as well. So this one is the original formulation, and you can tell because it has the silver atomizer on it. And it has Armaf written there at the top on the atomizer too. So really nice bottle, really attention to detail, and the what looks like dice almost here, the top does not spin. You have to actually move it. Whereas this one has a black atomizer. Armaf still embossed in that atomizer there, but it is a black one, and the cap here isn't nearly as secure. It can spin as opposed to this one, which doesn't move as much. So slight differences. That's about it. The notes on these things, the top notes are lemon, blackcurrant, apple, bergamot, and pineapple. The middle notes are rose, jasmine, and birch, which I get a lot of that. Again, the base is going to be vanilla, ambergris, musk, and patchouli. So again, it's supposed to be a very strong clone of Aventus. Once again, if you want that smell identical, you just got to get the original Aventus. I don't own a bottle of Aventus. I'll say that I've smelled it. I've worn it multiple times through samples and at stores, and I just can't get past the obscene prices. It's great, but I've smelled so many clones of it that it's just not as appealing to me anymore as it once was. And that's why I think that this is a really cool fragrance, because for the price, you can't beat it. So performance-wise, this fragrance is an absolute animal. Last weekend, I was at a friend of mine's wedding. So I picked this as my fragrance. I used Executive Man from Sterling Soap Company's aftershave, and I used this, and I applied I think I applied the original formulation because I like that one a little bit better because of the opening, and I'll talk about the differences in that in a moment. And it lasted 12 plus hours. The sillage is incredible. Projection is incredible. It's like half the length of the time of the life of the fragrance. People are going to smell it. It enveloped the whole wedding. And some people may not see that as a good thing, but I don't know. I like that. It was very potent. And both of them are like that too. I've had the same experience. I went to work the next day because it was on a Sunday, the wedding, and I wore a different fragrance, and I could still smell this somehow after I had showered too. So it's going to stick with you for sure. So you don't need to go heavy on this fragrance at all. I would say 2-3 sprays max, and you're going to be noticed for sure. So let's talk about the differences here. Let's take a look at the distribution. I'll spray the original formulation on this hand. Kind of comes out in a short burst, and I'll spray the reformulation on this hand. Let those settle in. Oh, it's just enveloped my whole aura here. Yeah, this one is a little bit more pineapple and you get more of that fruit opening. And this one's almost a little bit more peppery in the opening too, but they're very, 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 very subtle differences. I like the opening in this one slightly better, but once they dry down, it's the same thing too. So if you are looking for this one and you only can find this one, don't feel bad. You're not missing out on much. The differences are very subtle. Anyone who's not into fragrances would never be able to tell the difference. And same thing with the thoughts on Aventus too. When this dries down, it really smells like Aventus, I think. Aventus's opening is cleaner, and obviously their ingredients are probably way higher end, as they should be for the price point. But this is an incredible cologne, and I really, really enjoy it. I'm happy I came across this one too. So if you come across either one of these, don't feel bad about not getting the original. The differences are very subtle. It's not that much at all. Armaf is the house, and they're known to be a cologne house. I have one other fragrance by them, which I haven't reviewed yet, but this is a solid, high quality for the price point. You can't beat it. I think it's great for spring. It's great for summer. It's great for fall. And you could probably pull it off in the colder weather as well, too. Its performance is there. So I could see you wearing this all year round, maybe a little bit heavier on it in the cooler weather as opposed to the warmer weather. It's just an awesome performer, and I really like that the quality is there. You know what I mean? For the price point of what, $30, you really can't beat that at all. So I have nothing but great things to say about this fragrance. I really like it, and I'm definitely gonna, as soon as these are both out, I'm absolutely gonna buy more. I would say overall rating presentation I think is so cool. The box is a little simple, but the bottle is really cool, so I'll give the presentation a 9.5 out of 10. Performance is a 12 out of 10. The performance, so you can't go 12, but it's a 10 out of 10. The performance is absolutely insane with this fragrance. And the smell, although not as unique, obviously Aventus did it first, and then there are millions of other Aventus clones. I still think this is the best one out there. And, that maybe is going to lose a couple points, but I would say still an 8 out of 10. So overall, I'm going to give this fragrance a 9 out of 10 in my opinion. I think Club de Nuit Intense Man is an excellent buy. I think it smells amazing. I think it performs like a monster. So, you got the trifecta there too, and it looks really cool, and it's very unique. And again, I like that too. Someone asked, hey, what fragrance is that? And it's Club de Nuit Intense Man. Again, not often is heard of outside of the fragrance community as well too. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any Armaf fragrances that you've tried that may not be as well known as say this one, or you have any thoughts on this review, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.